Greetings, everyone. I'm Boba Jonathan with you during this weekend. I hope everyone is doing well. I did promise you a couple of more videos this month since I was kind of not present for the last month or so, but I am here and I wanted to talk about a very important topic today. I think I've covered this in the past, but I think I would add to it right now. If you are new here to the channel, welcome. If you are returning to my channel, thank you so very much. Welcome back. If you're new here, we talk everything about cruising and travel and tips and tricks for the trade and learning all things about cruising. If you're new to cruising, this is a great channel for you to learn the cruising 101, so to speak, everything to help you plan for your next cruise vacation and listening to an expert who has been on 55 cruises. So today's topic, let's get into it. Everyone, depending on the location of where you live, you either live in the port that you depart from, or majority of the case, a lot of people fly in. I wanted to talk to you today about the importance of maybe flying in the day before your cruise, right? I have two examples. One that I am part of the story, and another one where my table mates on a recent cruise in October on the Rotterdam, they booked flights out of Toronto, and their flights kept getting canceled and canceled and canceled, and then they were getting rebooked and canceled. And when I met with them, I think on the second or third night of the cruise, 12-night cruise, they were telling me that, there was a good chance that they were going to miss the ship, right? So in order to avoid that, I think it's important to spend, the $100 to $200, depending on the season and where you're staying, where the ship is embarking from. Spend that money to leave the day before the cruise, right? You don't want to spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 on this cruise and you miss the ship. So back to Jonathan's story on what happened to him, because I always leave the day before, because I know, we're in summertime in Florida, right? Summertime flying in summer. I know I say a lot to people because I am into aviation and I love commercial airplanes and aircrafts and anything around that. The pilots are really going to earn their keep in the summertime, especially flying around summer areas here in Florida with clouds and thunderstorms and all the fun stuff that Florida brings. From probably the end of May into probably late October, where we get thunderstorms, we get lightning. And planes can't depart during that time, and if they're flying around in the air during that time, they're trying to stay away from that area. But back to my example, I was going on a cruise. This was back in 2001, sailing on the Mercury out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My friend and I, we were going with her mother on this 10-night Western Caribbean special cruise. I remember that in the itinerary. And we left the day of. We left, it was really early. I think I was up 4 in the morning for a departure probably around 7 or 8 a.m. out of New York's John F. Kennedy on TWA, right? Who remembers Trans World Airlines? If you remember TWA, write in the comments, what did you think of TWA? Do you miss them? They lasted, I think, 2 or 3 more months in 2001. I think they closed in June or so of 2001, maybe 2002. I could say I was probably one of the last people to fly on Trans World Airlines. So my friend comes to my house, we load all the luggage in the car, we go to the airport, and there's something wrong with the last name and how it's spelled. It's like a hyphenated name, and the ticket wasn't the same as what was in the photo identification. They did not let us get on the flight that we were already up for at 4 a.m. I think we had a 7 or 8 a.m. departure. They didn't let us go. So, I'm very young at that point. I'm maybe 14 or 15 years old. And, I didn't know what it meant to, miss the ship. This was probably my second or third cruise. And, then we're starting to now we're panicking. Are we going to get on the next flight? Is my friend's mother going to get this name sorted out? How is she going to get it sorted out? The mother is coming to me because she knows I'm the one who's been on a couple of cruises, 2 or 3 at the point. If we land in Miami and we miss the ship, can we rent a car and drive to Key West? Because Key West, we were fortunate, was the next port, so that was doable in case the worst case scenario happened. So to sum up the story, it was straightened out. I don't exactly 100% know what the issue was, but it had something to do with the name and how it appeared on the reservation, and they would not let them go. I was fine. Everything was okay. So we land. We get the next second or third flight of the day. We land around maybe 2:30 in Fort Lauderdale. and we book it. We rush to the ship, and we are literally one of the last passengers on board. This was in the days when the computers came off the ship. They would use them to check you in. They would give you your key cards. They were literally wheeling everything back on. And when we got on the ship, they were already conducting the lifeboat drill. We left within 20, 30 minutes. So if this was something in today's world, we probably would have been denied boarding. We probably would have been denied boarding due to how they scanned manifests over to ensure that there's no one on the cruise that should not be on the manifest. If there's someone who has, criminal background, has ties to a terror association or something like that. So my quick video summary for today is fly in the day before. Check your documents, ensure that, if you're traveling, make sure your information that you enter in the cruise line reservation is your information that appears on your passport, and all that information is correct and it matches. Make sure that if you are departing out of cruises in the summertime, especially here in Florida, fly in the day before. Once there's a thunderstorm in an airport, if they close, you don't know how many flights they have to get in, and if other flights diverted. You don't know if pilot and crew rest come in. You don't know if they go illegal, which basically means they've worked too many hours and then they have to wait until a new crew comes in, relieves them. All these little things can turn into very big issues. So with that, two very important notes here. Pay the $100 to $200, even if it's $250. I have a lot of recommendations for you if you have questions regarding, hotels in Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. I have information. If you are leaving out of New York, I can definitely point you in the right directions to getting the best deal as possible as you leave from New York. If you're leaving from California, Long Beach, if you're leaving out of Seattle or Vancouver for your Alaska cruise adventures, especially those cruises, which definitely are more expensive, take the time to research hotels. If you have questions, I can answer them for you. Buy cruise insurance. Check my videos probably from about a month or 2 months ago talking about travel insurance and how important it is to have. And book a hotel the night before your cruise. It's extremely important to protect this investment that you spent so much for. Especially, I was watching a quick video. They were interviewing the new CEO of JetBlue. Don't really follow JetBlue. I used to be a big JetBlue fan, especially 25 years ago when they came into New York. They were phenomenal. It's just not my choice anymore. And they were saying that JetBlue, I think it was a ranking out of 10 airlines, they're 9th out of 10th out of on-time departures. And 50% of their departures come out of New York because they're New York's hometown airline. So be careful when booking JetBlue. A lot of their departures come out of New York. And there's a lot of delays associated with, I think they're looking for about 3,000 new air traffic controllers in the New York City area. So keep this in mind when booking your next cruise. Book a hotel the night before. Make sure you have travel insurance. Check your documents. Make sure that your name and information is correct. And make sure that, you booked your cruise, you're ready to go. Your cruise leaves in a week and you look at your passport, it's expired. Right? Make sure you maybe put that information in your phone, set a calendar invite of when it expires so you're renewing way in advance. If you have any questions regarding insurance, hotels in various port cities that cruises depart from, let me know. I'd be happy to help and point you in the right direction. Again, thanks for watching. If you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button, comment below, share with your family and friends. I greatly appreciate it. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the weekend. This is On Board with Jonathan out.